Hi guys, it's Yay for Yarn, and today I'm going to do a little bit of a review on some of my favorite knitting needles. These are the Knit Picks interchangeable knitting needles, and that means that the tips of the knitting needles that you actually do the knitting on are separate from the cable that the stitches are held on while you're knitting them. So this tip comes off of the cable, and you can switch tip sizes and cable lengths so that you don't have to have, for example, this is a size 7. This way you don't have to have a size 7 16-inch circular, a size 7 20-inch circular, 24-inch, a 36-inch. You don't have to have a bunch of different cable lengths on the same size knitting needle and have a bunch of different separate needles with different lengths. This one you just have the different lengths of cables, and you can attach different size tips to those cable lengths. Now the Knit Picks Try Me set, or Try It set, or whatever they call it, comes with the nickel-plated needles and the rainbow wood. And the rainbow wood ones are actually my favorite. I love the nickel-plated, but I like the rainbow ones better. I guess I'll talk about the nickel-plated ones first. They are very, very good finish on them, because like the aluminum ones over here, one of the things I don't like about them is that they're bent right here, and the finish is like painted aluminum. So like right here, the paint gets scratched off from knitting with them so much, and you know, they're just something about the surface of this does not do as well with the yarn, because it has a harder time sliding over the yarn, and they slip off easier. Whereas the nickel-plated ones, I actually have them in a project right now. This is a dishcloth. The nickel-plated knitting needles and all of the options interchangeables do not have a bend here. And they also, the nickel-plated finish is just smooth. It's actually smoother than the aluminum, and you can knit faster with them. But there is still enough grip, enough friction on this surface. I don't know how they do it, but it keeps the stitches on the needles. They don't slide off, but they can still, you can still knit faster with them. And I kind of think that's important, because if I'm knitting something, I am more drawn to the needles that I can knit more comfortably and knit faster with them. And you get, with the Try It set, you get one of these little cable keys, and what you do is you insert these into, it's just like a little metal stick. You insert it into this little hole here, and then you can unscrew the needle tips, or you can screw them back on. And the Try It set comes with a set of size 6 rainbow wood needles and size 7 nickel-plated needles. But I actually am showing you today the size 11 rainbow wood needles so you can see them better, because the size 6s are even thinner than the nickel-plated. If you do have a nickel allergy, they have a whole set of the just wood ones. But I do believe that the metal here is nickel. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure it is, because it does feel pretty similar. But I don't know. You might have to check with the company on that. But I don't have a nickel allergy, so I use both of them. The birch wood, this is the rainbow wood, is made of laminated birch, and they color the different layers of it and cut it on the bias so that you have this really cool design on them. And that's really nice, but that's not the reason why I love them so much. On both of these, you get a very sharp point, which is important to me because it's not so sharp that it's going to hurt me when I poke myself with it, but it's sharp enough that it can go into the stitches without splitting the yarn. And a lot of times splitting the yarn slows you down quite a bit, especially if it's a yarn that's prone to splitting. But as you can see here on the bigger needles, this one is not that big. They go from size 4 to size 11, and the 4s are about the same width as the join down here. But as they get bigger, they have a little bit more of a taper going out to the full width of the needle. So the 11s, which are the biggest ones, have a bigger taper here. But the birch finish is it is very much similar to the nickel plated in the sense that it is not, okay, it's very comfortable. It's a very comfortable feel in your hand. They're quiet, they don't bang together like the aluminum ones do. They're warm, so if you have cold hands, it's cold in your house or whatever, and you pick up your knitting needles, it doesn't make your hands even colder, which I like. And the finish on these is actually even better than the nickel plated. Even though these are really good, I actually like the finish on the birch ones better because it keeps the stitches on, but it's very quick and comfortable to knit with. And I mean, these are the same, they have the same qualities, but these have those qualities even more. And I actually, anytime I'm knitting, if at all possible, I use these for everything. Even if I'm not knitting in the round, I knit back and forth on them just because I like the feel of them so much, and I don't actually have the set of straight needles yet. Someday I would love to get those, but I knit everything on these, if at all possible. And one of the other things I like about these is that when you're knitting with them, like the aluminums here, the aluminum knitting needles, these are like Boy brand knitting needles or something, they have a bit of a jump here between the width of the cable and the width of the edge of the metal. And it's not real big, but it's just enough to catch the yarn where you have to stop and shove the yarn up over it. And that's kind of slowing down a bit too. So I actually prefer to use these because, well, for one, there's no bend in the end here, but there is no resistance here. When the stitches come up here, they just slide up. They don't need to be shoved. I mean, sometimes I just kind of, you know, scoot them around a little bit, but I don't have to force them over that little, almost like a fence there. It's just a little bit of a jump that they have to make to get onto the metal. And if your stitches are kind of snug on the needles, that's a big deal. It's kind of hard sometimes to shove them up onto the needle. So I really like that about the options needles. But also, one of the other things I love is that since they are interchangeable and you can take the tips off, you get these little ends here. These cable, I don't remember what they're called, but they're like end caps or something. And if you need, for example, this is my size 7, if I wanted to if I need to make another project on my size 7 needles and I don't have another set of size 7 needles, then I can take the cable connector key thing and take my tips off, leave the project on the cable, remove the tips, and put on the end caps. So then the next time I want to use these, I can take the caps off, put the tips back on, and keep working on it. And also, Knit Picks sells them. I don't know if they have them on Amazon or not, but they have these little things that you can put on your end caps that tell what size, that have like needle sizes on them, so that you can mark, okay, I took the tips off of this, but I need to know what size I was using when I come back to it later. So you can put, you can mark, okay, I used size 7 for this. Or you could put like a piece of tape there and write on it, like masking tape or something, and accomplish the same thing. The one more thing I wanted to mention here is that a lot of times people complain about some of the cheaper needles because they don't, like the sizes are printed on, and after you hold them for a long time and you're moving your hands and they're sliding across the yarn, sometimes the size markings rub off. Or like with these that are just regular aluminum needles, there is no size marking. But with the Knit Picks ones, they are engraved. The sizes are engraved. So this one says size 11, 8mm, and it's engraved into the metal here, so it does not rub off. And one more thing I wanted to mention is that all of these opinions are my own opinions, and you know, they might not be the same for everybody. There are other types of knitting needles out there, and some people might like other types better, but these are my personal favorite. This is what works best for me, and you really need to find the needles that work best for you. So that is one of the reasons I recommend the Try It set, because it's only about $15 and you get to try 2 different types instead of going out and buying the 9 size set of nickel plated or the wood or whatever and then maybe not liking them. So I actually started with these needles on a Try It set that I got, and I loved them so much I had to go back and buy more because they were just awesome. But I also love how pretty they look, but that's kind of not exactly as important to me as how fast I can go with them, how comfortable it is, and also the fact that I don't feel like I need to grip them so much. And it makes a lot less stress on your hands if you're not holding on to the needles super tightly. But this is just kind of what I think of them, and I really like them. I use them for everything when I can. And, you know, if you want to try it out, you can. But, you know, some people might not, again, some people might not have the same opinions as I do. But this is just what I like. And I know a lot of other people like them too, but you know, you really need to find what works the best for you, and this is why the Try It set is such a great idea, because then you can check it out, test it, knit with both of them and see which one you like, see if there's another brand that you like better, or whatever you want. You don't have to buy the whole set of 9 sizes to see if you like them. And that's, I think, the whole beauty of the set. If this, I really hope that this video has been informational to you and that it has helped you to maybe try something, you know, new. Maybe you've been using the same type of needle for a really long time and you want to try something different and see if you like it. I really hope that this has inspired you to try a different type of needle. Even if you don't try the ones that I've showed you today, try something different and see if you like it better. Because a lot of times that's how we find our favorite tools and things that we love to work with. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and maybe learned something from it. And if you have, please give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!